Well, that was a unique introduction. And I, in my life, am very rarely speechless, but Prop 64, yeah, that's, I'm speechless on that one for now. Okay, well, thank you. It is always such an honor to be here in front of you and to report to you on the state of our city, but it's also a personal honor that I share with my colleagues on the City Council and other elected leaders in our community to worry about all of us in this hometown. I want to tell you, and Ross gave you a little preview, these sorts of jobs that we do as elected officials in your community aren't necessarily easy, and they are often time consuming. And as I like to say, the beauty of local government is you can go to aisle 1 in the grocery store and you're a hero, and you can go to aisle 3 and you're an idiot. And you just get the feedback right there. It's perfect for the elected official, but sometimes it's a little harder on family members, my family members, who lose time with me and who have to listen to me blather on about various, municipal issues, about shopping carts or the various things Ross mentioned. And so I would like to ask you guys a favor tonight. Join me in thanking my family for the efforts and the time that they donate on behalf of this, our hometown. My wife Maggie and my son Charles. I couldn't do it without you. Well, what a year. I can tell you the state of our city, the state of our hometown is strong, really strong. And that is the take-home message for tonight. But what a year it has been. For that matter, what a week it has been. It has just been a week, right? Two days. 2 days. Well, look, I want to congratulate my colleagues in other elected bodies and on the City Council for our re-election. Elections are often divisive. This one, I think, was remarkably polarizing. In my experience, the most polarizing election I've seen. And it's troubling in that sense. And it finally ended, I hope, with the election on Tuesday. And there are winners and losers. And the winners are somewhat happy and the losers are somewhat concerned, or maybe very concerned. And some are probably even scared. And so at a time like this, talking about the state of our city, I have to remind all of us that we are Americans. We're part of the United States. And that after elections as Americans, we come together for a common purpose. So regardless of whether you're happy or scared or even afraid, remember the words of our pledge, which we didn't say tonight, but which I'll just say in short. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Thank you. Okay, on with the show. At the beginning of this year, we always do a Cordova Community Council luncheon in January, and it gives the mayor, whoever it is that year, a chance to talk about something. And I usually try to talk about things that are happening, or I'm going to predict that will happen in this year. And because this year was 2016, I had 16 things that I listed that were likely to happen this year. So rather than go through these one at a time, we're going to show you a little video that'll sort of summarize the 16 things I talked about and how they turned out. So why don't we roll that tape?
Now Gwen joins us live from Rancho, Cordova, where the runners are in the streets. Oh no!
Hold on. Boom! Okay. And this is how they're kicking off the 4th of July today.
We have a ton of stuff going on. This is the region's largest 4th of July celebration. So we have the largest 4th of July fireworks display tonight.
Oh yes, there's a big competition coming up on Monday for a parade.
This last year with the Community Enhancement Fund, we were able to add a bunch of funds to create a youth band competitions.
Here's what the JV and varsity teams at Cordova High School will be wearing these high-tech football helmets. Cordova High School is the first in the nation to outfit an entire team, all thanks to a $180,000 grant from the city.
Teen is standing by with featured performers at the upcoming International Festival. 18.
In Rancho Cordova, city of Rancho Cordova, Shelley Blanchard is here. Big party tonight.
Oh yes, 5 o'clock, night to 9. A great night to just take a trip around the world. You don't even need a passport.
Hi there. Yes, Moonlight Movies. You're probably like, wait, why is she wearing all this 80s stuff? That's because it's all about the 80s this month at the Moonlight Movies. They're showing an 80s movie every Friday for free. Yeah, it's Garfield, it's Gremlins, it's Rugrats.
To give you an idea of the size of this 4th of July show, all of these shells right here, this row on my left and all of these on my right, about 1,000 shells, those are just for the finale of tomorrow night's show. It's one of the only shows around that takes place 2 nights in a row, and as you now see, is carefully crafted by a team with an explosive passion for pyrotechnics.
What do I do as mayor? What's my job? Lots of meetings with people who are interested in doing things and changing things in the city. You want to be a mayor someday?
Ladies and gentlemen, cast here of Midsummer Jersey. It is debuting tomorrow. Opening night is tomorrow right here at this new facility.
These kids, of course, broken by a school district, they're learning how to build houses. And no, they're not just like fetching wood and stuff. Look at these kids. They're learning about electrical, so many things.
Mather Veterans Village, to me, it's a miracle.
Volunteers in Rancho Cordova today spent the day tearing out chain link fences around homes in the community. It's all part of a program that's looking to improve the
see number 16? Yeah. What did it say?
We will fail.
We will fail. Anybody know what that is about? You remember? Well, for those of you who are there in January, this is the point I always make, particularly the year I'm mayor and get to give a talk like this. If we don't fail at something, we're not trying hard enough. If you don't take a little risk, you're not really making any gains. And so this year, there were a few things we thought we could get done, couldn't quite get done for one reason or another. Some things internal, many things external. Those projects are still coming, but they didn't get done this year. So I promised a little bit too much. We took a little bit too much risk, but it'll pay off for you in the end. But anyway, we want to acknowledge those the same way we acknowledge big wins. It's important. And maybe it was that item, but there was a little reception here before the Chamber of Commerce put on, for my State of the Mayor, or State of the City talk, given by the mayor. You know what they were handing out? Lemons. What was up with that? I'm not sure how to interpret it. The one I'll pick is you take lemons and you turn it into lemonade. There we go. Nothing about sour or anything else. Okay. We are going to talk about some other cool things that have been going on, like something coming to your mailbox that's going to tell you what we've been doing with all those Measure H community enhancement funds. This is the Community Enhancement Fund Citizen Report. You can get one tonight by going to the city table out in the lobby, and it's going to tell you how we're spending those enhancement fund dollars that we get every year as extra tax revenue to do things like the football helmet project that you saw, and a lot of those other projects that you saw up on that show. That's available in the lobby. Don't miss it before you go. Now, I heard some cheers on the next topic I'm going to talk about, Sunbridge Plaza. So this is at the southwest corner of Sunrise and Douglas, and let me tell you, the city council, myself included, knows way too much about grocery stores and how they're sited and when they're sited and what metrics apply. My wife can even tell you about it, how complex it is, but it's finally done. And so in progress. Well, what are we getting there? A Rayleigh's. It's a 40,000 square foot store, complete with bakery, fresh hot foods, cafe seating, coffee and espresso. It will be awesome. But we're not just getting a Rayleigh's, we're also getting some other fun stores, like a nail spa, for those of you who need the nail work done, some pizza, and this is not everything, this is just a sampling, an AM/PM on the corner, a Jim Boy's Tacos, a Great Clips, a dentist, and a dry cleaner. So now many of your needs down in that Sunrise Douglas area can be met locally, including the grocery store. Wow, that was a decade before I was able to say that. Maybe even more than a decade. All right, let's move on to another topic. Stay after work. You guys know how many people come to work in Rancho Cordova? Well, ironically, we don't quite know the exact number. Because if you ask two different state departments of the government of California, they'll give you two different numbers. It's something like 70,000 people come to work in Rancho Cordova. Most of them do not live here. But with the new housing we're adding, they're going to have that opportunity. And as part of selling them that new housing, we want them to experience some of the great things that are available right here in Rancho Cordova. So we have a program that is going to talk to these employees and encourage those business professionals to stay an hour after work. So we're going to feature all kinds of great things to do in Rancho Cordova, from happy hour to fitness centers to craft breweries to distilleries. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. We're going to have a full list available at selectranchocordova.org after work. It'll be a print and media campaign. So the people who work here will get to experience some of the great things that are available right here in Rancho Cordova. Now, coming soon, as part of that, we have two new businesses I want to announce. The first is a meadery. Do you guys know what a meadery is? Yes. So that is a form of alcohol made with honey as the sugar. It has about half the alcohol content of wine, I'm told. But it is a form often sold like wine in a wine-like bottle, sort of dates back to medieval times. We will have the only meadery in this county, and we think in the Northern California area. We also have the only distillery in Sacramento County and in the area, and we are adding breweries right and left, including the Thin Line Brewery, whose graphic is up there, and that is an interesting microbrewery. I think that's our 5th, and they are literally in business to support law enforcement, firefighters, first responders, and those serving in the military. That is the focus of their efforts. They are going to be located right off of White Rock and Fitzgerald Road. And you guys, by the way, do you know what today is? Since I just touched on that topic. It's the birthday of United States Marine Corps. Do you have any Marines in the room? No Marines? This is Rancho Cordova. We always have Marines.
But the best Marine is a submarine.
Service rivalry. I'm not going to ask which is the oldest service. We'll have that debate tomorrow morning. All right. Well, we've got even more exciting new businesses coming to Rancho Cordova or already here. One great one that we added earlier this year was called. Oops, I got to go back one. Bases Loaded. Have you guys seen Bases Loaded along Highway 50? This is the largest baseball store in the region, and they do a massive online business. It has made Rancho Cordova a nexus point, literally, for baseball. Little League baseball, adult baseball. There are other businesses cropping up around to serve that, individualized coaching. It's a really neat find, in addition, for Rancho Cordova. Another great business we added this year that you may have heard about is the Freeform Factory. Anybody know what the Freeform Factory is? A few do. They are a high-tech manufacturer of individual watercraft, jet skis, and things like that. And I think, I'm not sure if they've announced it yet, but they are about to land a major military contract. Actually, their mode of manufacturing here in Rancho Cordova is unique, and they have been lauded all over the country. But just last week, they were given a Sacramento Innovation Award for Advanced Manufacturing. And that business is located here in Rancho Cordova and will grow in Rancho Cordova, and we're proud to have them. And the third business I wanted to highlight, you saw a little bit in the slide, is Viva Supermarket. How many of you have been to Viva, where the old Riley's was? Keep going to Viva if you like it in that location. My family loves it. We're there quite often. Wonderful people. It fills a niche that we don't quite have otherwise in our community, and activates that center. We're very pleased to have Viva Supermarket there. Well, at this point, you know, I almost forgot. I have to do a selfie. Because, you know, this is going to be on Facebook or something, right? Okay, so everybody smile. Yeah, hey, smile. I see that. All right, there we go. We'll get that right out, right, Ashley? Very good. Okay, back to the show. What is the biggest development in Rancho Cordova? Rio del Oro. And what is Rio del Oro going to bring us? 3,828 acres. It's bordered by White Rock, Sunrise, and Douglas Road to the south. This development is bigger than downtown Sacramento. If you take the map of Rio de Oro and put it over downtown, all of downtown is covered. That's how big this development is. Here's some numbers about things we're going to see there. There are jobs, houses, major parks, and significant open space. It is going to be a real giant impact for the city of Rancho Cordova, and we are very proud to have processed that this year, and we think we will see dirt getting turned in 2018, so that is really exciting. We also continue to do a lot of work on growing strong neighborhoods this year. And I'm going to focus on two specific elements of that. One is the city's Good Neighbor Guide. Did you guys see this year in your mailbox? You should have. Growing strong neighborhoods is about making Rancho Cordova more attractive, more safe, more inviting, more friendly, more approachable, increasing curb appeal, making it safer, and we're doing all of that through just enforcing the rules that have been around forever with code enforcement. And we do it in a way that doesn't penalize people, but it's friendly and helpful, assists those who need help, and lifts the values, property values of an entire neighborhood in the process. And so one thing we realized this year that we had to do, and with some great new staff that we were able to add this year, we put out this Good Neighbor Guide, which I have gotten a ton of positive feedback on. And it goes into some detail and some facts about what the requirements are and what resources are available to help you if you need that help. You can pick up a copy of that today in the lobby if you don't have one. If you have a neighbor you need to give it to, take a few. That's fine. The other thing I want to talk about is Blightbusters Plus. It was been a number of years ago, I think about 7 years ago, we did the original Blightbusters. And Blightbusters is the city dividing up the city into a bunch of little neighborhoods. And we go through each neighborhood with code enforcement, animal control, and building inspectors, and public works people, and we look for problems. We try to find things that can be fixed. If we see someone who's not maintaining their property adequately, a commercial or a multifamily or anything, we help them improve it. And in some cases, if it's a slumlord, we make them improve it. And we have done that 3 sweeps now through Rancho, Cordova. This year we did the entire city, and we prefaced it with the Good Neighbor Guide and community meetings, and we got enormous public support for having done that. And when my colleagues in other cities ask me, is how is that possible? Right? You're with code enforcement. You show up and you tell people you gotta fix the gutter that's hanging off of your house, right? Or you go to the landlord who doesn't want to pay to have the electrical work properly in the unit, and you tell them you've got to do it under state law. We have such outstanding code enforcement staff, and there are a few of them sitting in the back. If they would stand up. That's Carrie Simpson, our director. Kurt Haven, the director, sitting right next to her. Thank you for your good work on Blightbusters Plus this year. And finally, Blightbusters Plus, Strong Neighborhoods program, is really just part of public safety. And when it comes down to what a city's responsibilities are, nothing is as important as public safety. That is our fundamental requirement. That's why we have cities to begin with. People live close together, they need safety in doing that. That's why cities exist, so this is our fundamental goal. Well, with Measure H this year, we were able to form a unit that is the envy of our neighbors. We call it the Crime Suppression Unit. And these aren't officers that have to go patrol in neighborhoods or respond to regular calls. They get to focus on heading off crime before it happens. So they use a lot of intelligence, gather a lot of information, and head off problems before they become problems that you've got to call 911 or something about. They have had a remarkable impact on our community. It's 4 officers, a couple of marked cars, but the arrests they've made this year, in this graphic, 108 felony arrests. They found 68 people with felony warrants, 33 misdemeanors, and 30 misdemeanor warrants. And they contacted 661 probationers who lived in our community, maybe for not too long, but here for a while. That's the sort of proactive policing that is the best of modern day policing, and that's the pursuit that we're on. We don't want to do traditional, old-fashioned policing. We want to spend our money and invest our officers' time in the most proactive and effective means of keeping this community safe, and we're able to do that with your help through Measure H, so thank you for that. Okay, we have some upcoming events to talk about. The first, back one. Upcoming events to talk about. Veterans Day, tomorrow morning. It says 10 a.m., but the band with General Ross playing is at 9:30 a.m. You don't want to miss that band. The Christmas tree lighting is on November 27th. It is in the park where we do most of our big events, right there in Capitol Village. It starts at what time, Shelley? 4 o'clock. For the Christmas tree lighting, it is a very moving and fun event. You don't want to miss it, and it will snow. And we also do something which you may not have heard about, Christmas in Cordova. Christmas in Cordova is put on with a combination of city staff from the police department, code enforcement, and other departments. We're doing it this year on December 17th, and it supports local children in need at the holidays. So, for example, last year they provided toys to about 1,400 local kids, served about 2,000 adults or residents in that process. It involves a shopping mall where parents can come and select gifts and have them wrapped for their kids. So these are parents who can't afford, perhaps, the cool toy of the year. And we and our staff go out, gather donations, set up a shopping mall, identify those parents with the help of the school district, and are able to really make a special Christmas for a bunch of kids. We call it Christmas in Cordova. How many years have we been doing this, Carrie? 10 years? They've really got it down. It grows every year, and it's something we're really proud of. If you want to participate, we need volunteers, particularly if you're good at wrapping presents. Because the one time I went and volunteered at this and I was a present wrapper, they didn't ask me back. So that's a skill. Too much paper, I think, was the problem. But anyway, that's something. Or you can donate toys right here in City Hall beginning Thanksgiving, somewhere around there. Right here in City Hall, we'll collect them. The other announcement I wanted to make that's not on this board is, have you guys been following the Cordova High Lancers?
Yeah.
The football team this fall? I'm not going to say how many years it's been since we were in the playoffs. It's too many, but this year we're in, and that team is hot and exciting to watch. And the playoff is tomorrow night versus Christian Brothers at Hughes Stadium on Sacramento State's campus.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Bus is leaving here at 4. We're giving them a big send-off at Cordova High. We're sending them down there to beat Christian Brothers in the playoffs. So if you haven't been to a game yet, this is the one you want to see tomorrow night. So Rancho Cordova set another record this year, and that is in news coverage. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we were in the news a lot. It's thanks to some new staff, a very aggressive approach, but it makes everybody feel good, I think, right? To live in a community that you see reflected in the local media. So what we have now are a bunch of clips, and we're gonna run that video and let you relive some of our time on the big screen.
We're with the Rancho, Cordova, California police as they drop off a baked package. This package actually contains a tiny GPS unit.
In just under 2 hours Saturday afternoon, her Rancho Cordova home went from this to this.
Some of these neighborhoods are quite impacted. We can have a huge impact in a place like that, raising property values, just making the neighborhood more attractive, improving quality of life.
Kids are ready to start doing some reading today. We're going to have some special visitors reading to them. We're at Mrs. Busman's class this morning, and good morning, you guys.
Well, in honor of Read Across America, which is happening throughout our city here in Rancho Cordova, we wanted to do something a little special. So for some of our younger kids, every kid's going to get a book in our city.
Her late husband, a Vietnam veteran, passed away 9 months ago. So the city decided to step in to help Nancy and her 8-year-old daughter get back on their feet.
When we have an opportunity to help people who have really had bad circumstance or bad luck, by bringing in volunteers to improve their quality of life, we take action.
The Rancho Cordova Police Department is doing some amazing things, but you can see these bikes here. Yeah, those are also prizes for these kids today from the assembly.
Shovels in hand, we are getting ready to plant about 100 trees throughout the Lincoln Village neighborhood.
To honor those who served in wars past and present.
We're happy to be here and very proud to be here.
I am here with the mayor of Rancho Cordova. The carnival, the fireworks. What do you have that people might not expect?
Well, those are the ordinary things, but in Rancho Cordova, we always go way beyond ordinary.
This is a very big day. Ethan is going to get the chance to be a garbage truck driver.
Tell them what you want to be when you grow up.
A garbage man.
Every kid that goes out for the football team here, we're talking JV and varsity at Cordova High, is going to be wearing one of these high-tech helmets. And here at Cordova High, they are also the first high school in the country to have the city outfit an entire team.
We're talking about dozens of veterans right here in this facility. Many of them used to be homeless or disabled, and they say this is giving them a second chance in life.
The Student Rockets of Riverview Elementary School had some special guests this morning, and they came with a top-secret delivery.
Now, the mayor is very committed to making sure that the celebration tonight is going to be good. So he's already testing out the bike trail today. How's it been so far?
It's great.
This building will get renovated soon. It's a historic middle station. Look at this. It's going to be a great spot to show off some amazing all work here at Rancho Cordova.
All right, so honestly, I've only been able to really touch on the surface of the things that have happened in our city this year that we're proud of and we hope you're proud of. But there are a lot of ways that you can connect with Rancho Cordova, and we want to share a couple of those with you. We have an app that you can sign up for and use. We also have various social media options, so you can follow us on Facebook, you can follow us on Twitter, you can participate with us on Instagram or Pinterest, you can follow our video posts on YouTube, you can use Nextdoor in your own neighborhood to talk about things in your neighborhood, and you can follow us with our Fresh News and Fresh Biz email newsletters. You can sign up for all those things, follow all those things through our city website, or just Google it and you'll find it. We want to focus on one extra one tonight, and that is the Sacramento Emergency Alert. This is a new way that lets you be notified by phone, text, or email, whatever you prefer, in the event of an emergency in Rancho Cordova. And actually, I think it's also the county has the access to tell us, or the option to tell us about things. All it takes is a click of a button. You visit a website. That website is sacramentoalert.org, sacramentoalert.org. You can sign up to get the message of your choice for emergency alerts that happen in the community, so check that out. And there are lots of ways to contact us. I'm going to put some of them up here. We always love to hear your feedback. Frankly, it's the highlight of my day to hear a criticism and a thank you about something, because that's that feedback I need from the grocery store, right? Aisle 1 and aisle 3. So, look, in closing, I want to thank you for your attendance here tonight, for all of your support for this, our proud, fair city. I want to invite you to investigate a little more about the city tonight before you leave. There's going to be great food out here. There's also a great city booth where you can learn a lot more, take something fun home. It's an honor to serve in this role. It's an honor to serve all of you. And I want to share a quote from Abraham Lincoln that has always had a lot of impact on me. This is Abraham Lincoln. I like to see a person, I'm updating him, I like to see a person proud of the place where he lives. I like to see a person live so that his place will be proud of him. Thank you very much.